Ethiopia, and it's many reasons for me stating so. And here are a few. The Falada people, although in West Africa, they have their origins in Ethiopia and the waters of the Blue Nile. The Falada Umbaro, who entered the historical record circa 15th century, originally came from Western Africa and resettled in the Blue Nile in the beginning of the 1950s. They were permitted by the indigenous tribes to use the natural resources. The Falada Umburu actually consists of several ethnic groups which have their own local language, religion, and native homeland, originally from Western Africa countries including Mali, Mauritania, Cameroon, and Nigeria. Falada live in the forest savanna plains between El Obi and Adamazin. The reclusive Falada people are a Semitic tribe that migrated from Western Africa to Greater Sudan starting in the 19th century. So these Falada, who are described as marauders, settlers, and tribal nomads in the historical accounts, entered into the West African sphere around the 15th century. So let's go back and see also some other things about them, because just like the Falada people are ostracized and they continue in that tradition. And let's just continue further and see. Operating in varying tribal makeups, from peaceful settlers, marauding or encroaching invaders, the Falada people are littered throughout 15th to 19th century historical accounts of them dotted along all East, Central, and West Africa. When you investigate the Falada people, you see a Semitic people that the world at large has no concrete knowledge of their origins. In an article from Al Jazeera speaking on the trials and tribulations of the Falada people, Nazarene Gates states that they are vulnerable. The World Vision Security and Development Officer told Al Jazeera, because nobody understands who they are or has investigated their movement. The war in this country affects them and they need help, but they need to be stable so NGOs can build a relationship with them. Next to me is the most interesting and one of the most, or rather, let's just go to it. Now, the writer Abdul Habtabah, who gave us that proverb, when an African elder dies, it's like a library has been burnt down. He also compares his people, who are the Fula, the Fulani, the Falada, as being persecuted and handled as if they were the Yuhadin. But like I was saying, one of the most pertinent and most interesting things or ties to Israel is that they share the same way of life. Now, over the next few seconds, I'll be showing more undeniable evidence of links of Israel and Africa. But let's look at this. Central to the Falada's people lifestyle is a code of behavior known as Paluka, which is passed on by each generation as high moral values of the Wodabi, which enable them to maintain their identity across boundaries and changes of lifestyle. Essentially viewed as what makes a person Falada, Paluka includes Munyal, Halakil, and Sagada, which is patience, wisdom, tenergy, self-control, modesty, courage, hard work. Now, the Fulani, the word is Puluga, or rather Pulaka. And what that means is basically the Falada pathways. Now, when we look at what we as Israel practice, it's halakha, which is Hebrew